There are many methods similar to yoga that allow us to become much more knowledgeable about our body and our alignment and the actions that we need to do with the muscles that support our spine. One method, this melt method, was introduced to me by a teacher friend, and so I became curious about it, and I'm going to provide some links of the method. It's always good to find different methods, especially as a yoga teacher, of exposing your students to understanding their bodies so much better. And in this practice, we'll be focusing on the spine and the pelvis and the shoulders with just a little bit more awareness. We won't be moving through lots of poses. We'll just be lying down, and we'll start lying down on our back. Have 2 towels available to you and roll them up into a nice, compact, long roll. Let's begin and lie down on your back. As you begin this practice, close your eyes. Just allow the shoulders to draw back. Feel the support of the mat. Allow your pelvis to be heavy. Your feet might turn out just slightly. Just to allow a nice ease in the body. Now begin to notice what's going on in the body, like what's touching the floor. The calf muscle, the thigh muscles, the pelvis. Maybe you're noticing like one leg feels a little heavier, or one leg feels a little taller than the other. Just notice these things. Notice the low back. With a natural curve, it might be lifted away from the mat. The ribs, your shoulder blades. Maybe there's a little space between your neck and the mat. Just allow the arms and the legs to be completely supported by the floor. Just bring your awareness to your breath. Bend your knees. Plant your feet so your feet are about hip distance apart. Place your hands right at your pelvic points and lift your pelvic points up into the palms of your hands. Now draw the waistline back toward the mat. And again, lift the pelvic points up and draw the waistline back. See if after a few repetitions, if you can get just a little bit more movement. Make it easeful. Keep your feet parallel and about hip distance apart. See if you can start to work your legs a little bit more so the heels pull in isometrically toward the pelvis as you lift your belly, and the feet are as if they're pushing away from the pelvis as you draw the navel back to get that full movement of the spine. And now come back to what feels like the center of the movement, very easeful center of the movement, and just pause here. We'll now be lying on the blanket or the rolled towels that you have. 2 towels rolled tightly together. Grab your towels. Center them on your yoga mat. Sit in a way that your tailbone is on the mat. Your feet are hip distance apart. Your head is supported. And now notice the difference. Maybe you feel like you're slightly out of balance. And just kind of move side to side on the rolled towels so that you can kind of find out for yourself, what is that center line? Just draw side to side. Back to center. Once back to center, take the heads of your arm bones, the top of the humerus, the top of the arm bone back, so that you get this nice fullness and openness in the chest. Make sure your tailbone is supported. Place your hands right at the pelvic points, with the palms right at the pelvic points. Do the same movement we had done without the towel. See if you can lift the pelvis up with slight engagement of the feet. And now push the feet isometrically. They're not actually moving. You're just engaging the legs slightly for full support of this pelvic movement. Pull the feet in as you lift your navel up, and as you push the feet away from you, you get this feeling of engagement from the pubic bone to the navel. Now combine this with the action of your breath. In breath, as you really lift the belly. Exhale breath as you draw in from the pubic bone to the navel. And again, see if the breath can be very full, very bright. And notice when the spine leaves the towel and creates this nice arch in the lumbar spine. And when the low back presses against the towel. Now find a place that feels equidistant from that. Release your arms. Get this nice fullness in the chest. One thing we do in yoga, which is not done in this melt method, but it's a nice way to keep the pelvic area nice and open. Just take your feet together in this prayer position. Pause here. Take your attention to your breath. Now fold your inner knees together. Reach your right arm over your head. Come to a fetal pose. Move your towel away from you and come back to lie on your back the way we started. Stretch your legs out. Have your arms released. And just notice any difference you might feel in your body. Maybe a little bit more openness in the upper chest. It's that awareness that we're drawn to in discovering in each practice in yoga, that awareness of our movements, of the alignment, the actions. And if you apply this method, just observing spinal movement, pelvic movement in a very restorative way before your practice. It's a wonderful way to bring that awareness. It's a settling action. It's a way to get to know the body, to ensure that in your practice you keep that attentiveness, that focus to your alignment, to the actions in your movement, the engagement, and you can begin your practice or your day with a nice attentive attitude. Thank you for spending some time to bring yourself to a place of an inner focus. With an understanding of your body. Namaste.